Hi, I'm Dorothy Creamer, Managing Editor for Hospitality Technology Magazine, coming to you from the 11th Annual Hotel Technology Forum in Puerto Rico at the Grand Melia Resort. With me is Jim Knight, former head of training for Hard Rock and founder of Knight Speakers. Jim just delivered a rocking keynote session on how service and technology can collide, which is our theme for this year. Jim, it was wonderful. You really got the crowd into it, and you brought up a lot of wonderful points that while technology is important and guests are expecting it, you can't do that without humans. And so that service aspect is key on so many levels. Can you maybe in your own words tell us a couple points that you are hoping that the attendees really are going to take back with them today?
Yeah, that's a great point. The biggest thing was really knowing what the audience was. So these are technology leaders, and I think if you think the old world, the old mindset is I'm sitting in the back office area and I'm putting together technology and equipment, those lines are blurred now. They are just as critical, sometimes if not more so, in the entire guest experience. So I focused today a lot on service, and I wanted them to think a little bit more like a frontline employee, a frontline leader. And it was about communicating, it was about being guest obsessed, it was about eye contact, it was really bending over backwards for anything we can do for the customer. But in their world, just like I would say to any leader, it is not about them doing it directly as much as it is marshaling all the resources and using some leadership to say, I'm going to create an army of giants of people who can go out there and do that. So part of it really was a leadership take, and the other was just we've got to communicate on a regular basis and realize how important you are to the overall guest experience. The old days of me just working on having the internet, that is the internet working is a given. That it's got to be bigger than that now.
Excellent. And you were talking about that leadership role, and that's been shifting a lot. We've seen that a lot lately, and with CIOs can no longer just put themselves in their silo and only think of one aspect. They have to think of all of those important buckets. Is there any company that you've seen that you feel is really just nailing the service perspective and really doing a good job with it?
Well, it depends on the industry. I mean, for sure in the hotel world, I still think, we use Ritz-Carlton quite a bit, and they're still doing a very good job. I think they're coming off of maybe their full-on structured approach, and they're starting to be a little bit more from a personalized, customized, individualized approach. But there are some really good brands out there as well. In the restaurant industry, I start to think about Chick-fil-A, which I shared. I talked about them in the in the session. I even think outside of the industry. Like, I have a lot of people that will say, oh, you're in hotels, you're in restaurants, it doesn't apply to me. I think about Pike Place Market in Seattle. I mean, these guys are fishmongers. They sell fish, and yet they're recognized for their service approach. I think about Zappos. Zappos, they sell shoes, and they sell shoes online. Nobody ever 10, 15 years ago would have thought that was going to be the most culturally relevant or one of the biggest ones in the world from a service standpoint. So there are some really great brands. It's easy to talk about Starbucks and Southwest, and I'm one of those guys. I'm in love with Hard Rock. That was my background. But I think if you take all of those brands, I think I listed off 8, 9, or 10 of those. If you were to do a self-study on all of them, they realize that it is about the culture and not about the product. So that was something that I talked about quite a bit today. Get out of the mindset of it's just about the tactical nuts and bolts, and it's about going out there and creating the totality of the experience. And people are saying, yes, please, I want more, I'm coming back, and I'm going to talk about you positively. So those are just some of the few.
Excellent. No, that's very true. The hotel industry loves to hear from other industries that are doing well with service and creating that service that rocks.
Yeah.
So wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Jim. We're thrilled to have you here, and enjoy the rest of your stay.
Thank you so much. I had fun. Thanks, guys.